Are you a daily glass of wine drinker? Maybe you're just curious, should I start drinking wine? Is it going to benefit my health, my cholesterol, my blood pressure? There's lots of claims out there about what wine can do for your health. My name's Dr. Terranella, and in this video, I'm going to look to answer this question. How's it benefiting? What part of your health is it actually going to benefit, if any? We're going to break down the details. So if you like this kind of information on health, hormones, nutrition, and just trying to expand your overall understanding of what's going on inside your body, click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this one. Now for a quick disclaimer, the information in this video is for informational purposes only. It's not intended as a treatment for any health condition or as a substitute for seeing an actual doctor or medical professional. It should be used as an educational guide to deeper your understanding of your own health and treatment success. If medical attention is needed, don't delay in seeking that attention. All right, well, let's look at this question. Is a daily glass of wine healthy? Is a daily glass of wine healthy? My initial reaction or response to this question is probably not. But there are some specific things to consider with this question, and some of the information that I found when researching this topic actually surprised me. So the first thing to understand about this question is wine contains resveratrol. And resveratrol has a lot of research on it because of its activity to work as an antioxidant. And it does this through working on specific molecules in the body and probably even increasing NAD levels, which many people have heard of. But the main effect is through working as an antioxidant specifically, or activating the internal antioxidant systems in your body. So this is the potential plus side. The alcohol, on the other hand, that's in wine, generally is thought of as a toxin and generally is not good for anyone to consume on a regular basis. Just think about it. Your liver has to process that toxin, no matter how little or how large it is a toxin that your body has to eliminate. If your liver is already overburdened with a bunch of toxins, adding one more definitely isn't going to help. For some people, it's going to add that much more burden to their system. But there's also this principle known as hormesis, where a little bit of something is good, but a lot of it is bad. Even with the potential hormetic effect, I think the main question to look at is, do the benefits of resveratrol outweigh any downside effects of alcohol? So this question, is a daily glass of wine healthy? It is not always straightforward to answer when you're digging through the research. A lot of the research is biased and limited in scope. It's also based on a lot of epidemiological studies, which are not always as helpful as double-blind placebo-controlled trials. Looking at the body of research as a whole, there does seem to be one outstanding area of the body or of health that seems to stand out in terms of where the benefits might be coming from, and that is in the cardiovascular system. This is likely due to the antioxidant effect of resveratrol. When they take the alcohol out of the wine, de-alcoholized wine, it looks like there's even a more obvious benefit to the cardiovascular system. That makes a lot of sense since resveratrol is an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory, and cardiovascular disease is promoted by inflammation and, of course, other things as well. Very few people drink non-alcoholic wine, though, and so we should look at this a little bit closer and see if we could find out a little bit more on what's going on. So we know that some of the main risk factors for cardiovascular disease are high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and, as I said, inflammation. There's no question that moderate to high alcohol intake, which I would define as more than 2 drinks daily, is going to raise your blood pressure. This increase in blood pressure occurs as a result of the reciprocal response of the body. Alcohol increases GABAergic activity, which is a sedative, calms down your body. And as a result, the body's going to produce more stimulating things, basically help even out the scales a little bit. When the alcohol wears off, that stimulating effect is still there. This is what happens with people going through withdrawal, and sometimes even after a hangover, you feel anxious, can't calm down, things like that. Even if you're only drinking 1 or 2 a day, this is still happening, maybe a little bit more in the background. Especially if you're drinking all the time, you may not really notice it, and it may not be having a major effect on your actual blood pressure. Below 2 drinks probably wouldn't have a major effect on your blood pressure. Above that probably is going to, and it's really going to be based on the individual, how you process that alcohol, what your overall stress level is in general. Logically, though, I would think it's very unlikely for consuming wine with alcohol in it is very unlikely to help your blood pressure. And the research seems to support this. Drinking a moderate amount of alcohol on a regular basis will increase blood pressure. So, what about cholesterol? Total serum cholesterol, triglycerides, and other cholesterol markers are definitely going to be much higher in alcoholics compared to non alcoholics. So, meaning that heavy consumption of alcohol is going to really mess up your cholesterol levels and put you at more, not less risk for cardiovascular disease. Generally speaking, alcohol, as it is an empty calorie, is going to increase certain cholesterol parameters like triglycerides and even some cases the LDL cholesterol. Your HDL cholesterol, which is known as your good cholesterol, is also going to be higher, which is a good thing in those people that are drinking light to moderate amounts of alcohol. This fact is pretty well documented and not refuted. Some have argued that the type of HDL or type of good cholesterol that goes up is not the optimal one. But studies looking at this specifically have found that in fact it is the optimal type of good cholesterol, good HDL cholesterol that does go up. The question is, does it go up more than the triglycerides do, as it is the ratio between the HDL and the triglycerides that's most important here. So again, it looks like the dose is really going to be the major variable here to look at when we're trying to answer this question. Is a daily glass of wine healthy for you? So how big is that glass of wine? Where does any benefit of the polyphenols and resveratrol in the wine get outweighed by the alcohol and empty calories that's present? So I think in order to answer this question, we do have to look at the overall calorie content in the wine itself. We also have to look at the individual uniqueness of each person that's consuming alcohol based on their genetics. They may not break it down as efficiently as someone else. There could be genetic alterations in how you're breaking down aldehydes and alcohol. Trouble breaking down alcohol is very commonly seen in Asian population. Histamine is also a common component in wine that may not be suitable for everyone that consumes it. So what may be healthy for one person may not be healthy for you. So back to the calorie question, alcohol is clearly an empty calorie, not dissimilar to cake or candy bars and things like this. Low calories equal, it may be better to have the wine since it does have the anti-inflammatory resveratrol in it as well, as long as your dose is on the low side so as to avoid any toxicity from the alcohol. And of course, if your total calories are increasing as a result of consuming that wine, you're not going to be doing yourself very much benefit and undoubtedly will be detrimental to your health. Here's the bottom line as I see it. Is a daily glass of wine healthy? If you treat it like a specific dose of medicine or supplement and not as an excuse to get intoxicated or to feel some kind of craving, I think it can actually be adding to your overall health. There may be a specific cardiovascular benefit in terms of blood pressure, for sure, inflammation, and raising your overall good cholesterol. But we have to remember that wine and alcohol specifically have a J-shaped curve where there's a reduction in risk and therefore a benefit at low doses. That same item turns into a liability at higher doses. So with that in mind, it's best to stay on a very low dose or not indulge at all so as not to increase your overall risk of health issues while you're trying to actually improve your health. So we don't really have enough information to actually answer this question, but if I were to guess, a daily glass of wine, is it healthy? 3 ounces or less may be beneficial for some people, and that amount is going to go up slightly if you're a larger person and down slightly if you're a smaller person. So what do you think about how to answer that question? Is a daily glass of wine healthy? Was that information helpful? Drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you do have separate questions on this topic, drop that there too. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.